Welcome to the Art of Thought. My name is Kweku Asafu-Adjaye, and this is episode 19 of the Art of Thought, recorded on December 12th, 2018. We're getting closer to the holidays, and I just wanted to say the show title. You're going to see it already before you click on it. Show title is Art of the Creator. Now, there's going to be a running show title for a while with some subtitles after that. But this is the preliminary stages of Art of the Creator. You guys will see more Vimeo on YouTube, maybe Facebook if I decide to actually make a Facebook profile. But yeah, Art of the Creator. So, what is Art of the Creator? I think I talked about it in the other podcast that I did. Last week's episode, what was it? It was O Come All Ye Driftgate, where I was talking about the Nintendo Switch's drifting problems on the joysticks, Joy-Con. But I talked about it constantly, losing focus on episode 16, losing focus, episode 17, new gadgetry. I've talked about this constantly, and I've been talking about it with friends constantly, but I think it's time to start. So, coming with this as well, there's eventually going to be a new intro. Probably shooting for 2019, there'll be a new intro developed and finished. Maybe a slight shift in artwork for the podcast. And then I'll soon be adding it to Pandora, which Pandora just opened up their podcast submissions. I'll be adding it to Pandora so people can view it on there too. So, Art of the Creator. Art of the Creator is an idea that I had come up with almost 2 years ago, I believe. 2 years ago? About 2 years ago. Where I'm going to basically be covering different creators. It doesn't have to be drawers, like artists. You can do ballet, which is, you're still an artist if you do. You just dance. You can, as long as you create something, you create things. You create new content, new something. It doesn't even have to be the web. You can be anything. An architect, you're a creator. As long as you do any of that stuff and that's your passion, you are a creator. Don't forget that. And that's what Art of the Creator is about. And with it, I'll be breaking it down a lot of things. I'll be breaking it down a lot. So I'll be breaking it down multiple different ways. When you're a creator, you can be where is it? I think I had it here. When you're a creator, you can literally be, I think I'll be doing photography, definitely. You can be a photographer, you can be an artist, whether you paint, you can be a painter. That's the fine arts of things. You can be a dancer, you can be a writer. You can be a rapper, for all I care. You can be a singer. Any of those things, with more to come later on. There'll be interviews with different people doing their, in their craft. And there'll be a video portion of it, too. A creative video portion of it. So yeah, that's Art of the Creator in a nutshell. Now, what I wanted to jump into is, what exactly is a creator? Now, because many of us want to know, many of us, in fact, I have it here now, but many of us say we're creators. But what exactly is a creator? And before I even say that, I'm going to allude back to one of the other episodes that I did, where I talked about what is art. Because in that one, I literally discussed with two of my other friends, pretty much colleagues, because I went to college with them. I pretty much talked about what is art in their minds, like how do they view art, and with that, you want to wonder what is art, and so I'm gonna look this up. What is art? And here it is. This is actually, you know what? I want a better place. Here it is, right here. I think it's here. There it is. Okay. This person on philosophynow.org. Remember, this podcast is all about not really much research, but research enough. Take it with a grain of salt. It says art. What is art and or what is beauty? I'm only going to talk about what is the art part. This person says art is something we do. Basically, it's a verb. Art is an expression of our thoughts, emotions, intuitions, and desires, but it is even more personal than that. It's about sharing the way we experience the world, which for many is an extension of personality. It is the communication of intimate concepts that cannot be faithfully portrayed by words alone. And because words alone are not enough, we must find some other vehicle to carry our intent. But the content that we instill on or in our chosen media is not itself the art. Art is to be found in how the media is used, the way in which the content is expressed. So they say here, they wrote here art cannot be faithfully portrayed by words alone. Now, I can't really say that because they do say art is something we do. Art is an expression of our thoughts, emotions, intuitions, and desires. But it's more than that. And a way to express your emotions, thoughts, desires, intuitions is literally, a way you can do that is through writing. You can do that through writing. So when they say that art cannot be faithfully portrayed by words alone, I understand they're saying it's not just words, but you can express that through words. You can communicate what you're thinking through words. And that's what it says, an expression of our thoughts. So you're communicating what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you desire, what your intuitions are through thoughts. And a way to communicate your thoughts is to write it down, and I found it here, painting it, maybe recording it, with film, shooting it, photography, not like shooting with a gun, writing it. Maybe you express it by wearing it, fashion, playing it, music, drawing it, crafting it through sculpture, and maybe even performing it through dance. You can do more than that, but that's what I'm going to stay underneath. That's what I'm going to cover it under, and that's the main thing of why I wanted to do that, because in Art of the Creator, the series that I'm creating, we're finding out. I just covered the first one. What is art? It's something we do. It's an expression of our thoughts, emotions, intuitions, and desires. In that series, I want to get into the mind of the artist. So what I want to do is get into the mind of the artist, basically not surface level stuff. By the way, that was the heat. I'm in the basement and there's a hot air heater right next to me. So not right next to me, but in the other room right next to me. So it's literally makes the noise when it needs to heat up the house. But I want to dig into the mind of the artist. So not the surface level stuff that is, why do we create? Oh, I create paintings because I like to paint, because I like color. It's like, no. Why do you create? Because you can create anything, but why did you choose painting? Someone will be like, because I like color, but it's like, no. If you like color, you could have done photography, could have done film, could have done fashion, could have done drawing, even sculpture, because you can paint sculptures. There's more to it than why you specifically chose painting as your medium. It's because I was good at it. No, someone would say because they're good at it. No, it's not. To me, I don't want to hear because you were good at it, so you chose painting over the rest. Because anyone can be good at something, at anything, honestly. It's just a matter of putting your mind to it and continuing to work at it till you do really well. That's how you can get good at it. Some people are born really good with it, obviously, in a way, hypothetically, where, their brain just cannot pull away from it, just like me in technology. My brain cannot pull away from it. Even when I was a little kid in the dial-up ages, I still had to tinker with computers at age 3. I was getting in trouble with that. But no, I want to dig in to, literally in this series, I want to dig in. Why do we literally create things? And I'm telling you guys who are listening this, I'm saying this in a way because I really just, part of me when I was in school, I always asked, I remember asking my neighbor, I was like, what do you think I could do as a major? 'Cause I was in community college, and I was like, what do you think I can do as a major? I'm thinking philosophy because I always help people. I'm always curious about people and why people do things. And that's kind of philosophy as far as I know. And so I want to dig into kind of the philosophy of the artist, of the creator. Why do we do things like that? And so saying because I like doing things, that's surface level, like get out of my face style things. Like you're just saying, oh, whatever. I do it because I like to do it. No, because I can say with this why do we create thing? In terms of for me, as it applies to me, I can literally say the reason why I like to create, and this is personal for me, the reason why I like to create, why I do my thing, I do many things. I do photography. I'm trying to get back into drawing with charcoal specifically as my medium. I don't really like painting, and filming is going to be a new thing for me, so it's going to be a new project for me doing this. But the reason why I chose mainly photography as my medium is because I like the combination. I was back in high school and throughout grade school. I was never really good at many things, but the one thing I was good at doing was capturing things. And I didn't even touch a camera, honestly, until I want to say towards the end of high school is when I really touched the camera and really got good with it. But what I did, I mainly did architecture in high school, where I designed things with AutoCAD Inventor, I think 2007 and stuff, and maybe 2011 at the late times of high school. And I created things for that reason. I don't know why I did it, but I feel like it just gravitated towards me in a way. So what I'm trying to figure out, because personally, even for me and what someone else would think, they probably would think the same way I am right now, where they're like, I really don't know why I specifically chose painting as the way I do things, like why I express myself. And I think the reason why I chose photography is because I like technology. And I also noticed that I liked color a lot. I love color. In fact, if anyone sees any of the things I create, I design, any logos, any graphics that I do, there's always a lot of color in everything that I do. There's always a lot of lines and color and just all over the place. In fact, this OneNote file here for episode stuff, I for some reason highlighted all the subtopics of the art of stuff. I made a square around each one, a box around each one, and I highlighted them in a rainbow color. For some reason, I just felt like doing that because I like color. I don't like black and white. It's so boring. And so combining color and technology, yeah, you can do film. Film can still be color. But film and technology and art together to me is photography. Because when you put those two together, and partially film, in a way film. By film, I mean cinematography. Because photography to me is like you holding a physical, like a camera. Yeah, when I say photography, I'm saying digital photography, analog photography. It's all technology, but mainly digital is what I do. And I did that because I liked art. The best thing I did, other than all that math that I hate so much, what I did the best and that brought the most wows throughout my life was designing things, whether it was Legos, and I used a lot of color in Legos. I didn't even care what color the bricks were. I just kind of put them all together, and it was like a rainbow spaceship out of bricks. And spaceship is technological. Everything I built with Legos was some kind of seemingly technological creation look. Obviously, it didn't move on its own, but I used my imagination when I was younger. And so photography somehow just came into focus because it's like, I can create art with technology. What? I'm not just coding things, which I don't even know how to do. I can create art with technology. The one thing that I did on YouTube for 3 to 4 years, I can do that. That's amazing. And so I picked up a camera and naturally just gravitated towards it. And so what I'm saying with this is my backstory with photography is what I want to know from other people about whatever they do, whatever their craft is, under these under these 9 headings. That's what I want to know. I don't want to know because I like creating things. No, I want to know the deeper reason, and people want to know why people do things. So that's why do we create? That's what I mean by that. Into the mind of the artist, why do we create? That's what I want to discuss, and that's what's going to come up slowly next year. And probably the podcast for next year is going to be, other than the usual stuff, there's going to be a lot of art of the creator stuff coming out, because that's the most interesting thing, seeing why people do things, because has always been interesting to me. Some people don't like that, but that's why I always ask first before I just push ahead and do it. So that's what I meant by that stuff right there. So in that, some of my favorite creators, the one person that got me into YouTube and making videos, I didn't really make videos because I didn't really show my face, but I did app reviews for Microsoft Windows 8 and stuff like that. I took my craft of liking art and design and technology together, and instead I did something what other people don't really do, which is actually look at UI and UX and user experience, and and I put it together and I made a channel. It used to be called Next Gen Windows. It's gone through many names. I don't even know what it's called nowadays, but I put it together and I did that for 3 years. It got noticed by some companies, a lot of app developers and things like that. It got bigger until, I had problems in my life, which I've talked about in the past podcast episodes. And I slowly went to stop. I hit the brakes on it, and now it's hard for me to pick it back up. So the main person that started me off on it, kind of helped me out through those tough times, was a person named Milltown Kid. He goes by the name Milltown Kid, but his name now on YouTube is Casey Payne, CASEYPAYNE. Casey Payne, he calls himself Milltown Kid sometime back in the day. He says he has a lot of like aliases in a way, but it's Casey Payne. That's his official name. And right now he's in Taiwan. He lives there, and he's good. He got me into it. Because he always did simple videos. He wasn't always just talking to the camera. He was always just walking around, just doing whatever he does normally. It wasn't really much of a vlog even. It was just, and he did blog, right? Like he actually wrote on a website. He still does. But he got me into doing things, because he got me thinking about, I even communicate with him. He got me thinking about like, how to present myself online, like how my presence should be, and like why I should maybe make some videos just to try out seeing how a whole YouTube world was. And that was back in 2012, 2013. That was around 2012, 2013. So that was 6 years ago, 5 years ago. And I'm very happy that he definitely came towards me. I mean, I reached out to him and started watching his stuff. Not as much as I do anymore, but like I'm really happy that I did that, because I wouldn't be where I am today without that guy. So I'll put his link and all his social media stuff below in the description, in the show notes, description for YouTube, and the show notes for everything else. And then the other person is also this is my favorite photographer. The only natural that I would say that. This is my favorite photographer, possibly of all time. He's not even really that well known. He's not really well known. Like most people, I want to say 95% of people don't know who he is. He's not that big. He's actually from where I'm from, Virginia. His name is his alias online. I call it alias, but his name online is Tacky Shack. TACKY Shack. I think you could just put them separate and you'll still find his stuff on Flickr. He does light painting photography, which is basically long exposure photography. You set your shutter speed to like 30 seconds, and then you do as much things with light in 30 seconds, for instance, and then the camera will capture it all. And then when it's done, you'll see this amazing thing. And he does a lot of amazing work. He doesn't really have much names for his work, but on his Flickr, he's been doing it since 2007 on Flickr, and he's got like 3.9 million views on Flickr and stuff. And his work is really cool. I recommend everyone take a look at his work on Instagram, Flickr, and everywhere. He even did a picture of his Christmas tree, like a light painting of his Christmas tree, and that also looks really good. So I think I even did a report on him back in college. One of my first college reports, I did it on him, one of my first art reports. So Tacky Shack, or Jeremy Jackson, as he goes by his normal name, Jeremy Jackson. Yeah, he's one of the big people that I like. He's one that probably my favorite medium of photography being light painting. He's the one that really got me hooked into it. Steel wool, where you twirl steel wool on like a chain and capture it all in like you twirl steel wool that you light on fire and it starts sparking all over the place. It's really dangerous. And then you twirl it in a circle and then you capture it all in like whatever amount of time you set it to your camera to, and it makes it look crazy nice, like really amazing. And he does that a lot, and he's bought a lot of lights and stuff that he does. He lives, I think, in the mountains, and he's it's just an amazing artist. I definitely like him. Now, architect, because it's only natural that I talk about architect. My favorite architect / creator, favorite architect would have to be Lloyd Wright. He's famous for the Guggenheim in New York. I've been inside it, and it was just mind-boggling, like just amazing. Because part of me, I get really bored when I see the usual. Like, I go to a college campus sometimes. Like back when I was obviously I lived on a college campus, and every building looks pretty much the same. Until our new art buildings opened up, where they started to have like curves and stuff built into the brick and stuff, which was really amazing. And it got me to like Lloyd Wright even more, because when you go into any of the stuff he's designed, such as the Guggenheim in New York City, Manhattan, I think it's east of Central Park. You'll see it mid-east Central Park, Manhattan. It's just a mind-boggling building, because it's not simple shapes like squares all over the place. There's curves in the building. It's not just a square building like a department style building. There's more to it. And so that's why Lloyd Wright definitely has to be my favorite architect of all time. Yeah, he's very famous. He died at age 91, but he's very famous, but yet he's definitely my favorite architect. Now, it's only natural, being who I am, music, I said it back in my Twitter pages when I had Twitter, when I used Twitter a lot. Music is my therapy, and my favorite artist for musician, Lupe Fiasco. He's a rapper. His real name is Wasalu Jaco, or Jaco. And his music is different. It's very different. I like what they call conscious hip-hop or conscious rap. I don't like giving it names, but that's pretty much what it goes under, a lot of his stuff goes under. And basically, a lot of his stuff has meanings to it. Like, it's not just rapping for the sake of rapping. A lot of his stuff has a story connected to it, and it's double entendres, triple entendres. It's amazing. Like, you can listen to his stuff multiple times and find probably multiple meanings to a lot of things he's saying, a lot of the verses he's saying. And that's the type of stuff I like a lot in terms of music, is when that stuff happens. It's great. Like, I've listened to him since his original album back in, I don't know when he first had his first album, but I think it was like 2007 or earlier. He was with Kanye West on, what's that called? He was with Kanye West in a song. He was also had his first album, Food and Liquor, with Kick Push, if people have heard of it. He's also made, I think he's finally ended his Atlantic Records as of like a couple years ago, an Atlantic Records contract. So now he's an independent artist with just a good size fan base that he can just do whatever he wants and still be happy. And his latest album being not Tetsuo and Youth, what's it called? Drogas, not Light, but Drogas, another one. But he is just nice. Like, it's really good. I did it even back when I wanted to try YouTube again, like a month ago or 2 months ago. I did a music review of one of his songs called Alan Forever, which is a song about Alan, a kid named Alan from, I think, somewhere in Europe or Asia, and where he passed away and stuff. And Lupe did kind of like an homage, but also like a alternate reality freestyle / rap to it, and it was really good. In fact, a lot of people like it. A lot of true fans really like it. Yeah. So, like, my phone is going crazy right now, but like, it was one of the greatest things that I'd ever heard, you know, in terms of music. I played it multiple times. I even created, it took me like 4 days to edit the video. It took me that long to do it. In fact, it's on YouTube. I might even put it in the show notes so people can take a look at it. Yeah, so those are my favorite creators. Yeah, so Art of the Creator, going back to what that was, Art of the Creator, where is it? I have it right here. Art of the Creator, I'm going to be digging in as a summary of what's to come. I'm going to be digging in the art of painting, the art of film, photography, writing, fashion, music, drawing, sculpture, and dance. So all of those things, take them with a grain of salt. I'm going to be interviewing quite a few people for those things, so they can explain their work and how they do, why they do things, how they do things, and how they got into what they do. And that's going to be Art of the Creator. I'm thinking of doing like a film version of it where I'm actually going to record content while they're doing their work and stuff like that, because it'll be just something cool to do and people to see. Yeah, unfortunately I can't go like most places, so it'll mainly be filmed in Virginia and New York. So those are the only two places I really know of, maybe New Jersey. So yeah, that is it in a nutshell. That is gonna be it. That's what Art of the Creator will be, and this is just the beginning of it. There's only more to come. There's just, you can expect a lot more to come. It's like 2 years in the making, and it's finally drawing near. It's not here yet, but it's finally drawing near. And the whole beginning of it was literally podcast a long time ago. Where was it? Back in July 18, 2018. What is art? That was pretty much the beginning of it coming back, of the idea just sprawling out. So I hope you guys absolutely love what you do, and take a look at some of the other podcasts that I've done. I've talked about quite a few things. If you like the topic of art, talked about what is art. I've talked about the DSLR versus smartphone camera. I've talked about the art of minimalism, where it's not really art, but I put art in the title. The art of minimalism, where I think I talked about what is minimalism in terms of not art, but like minimizing the amount of things we own, where people live in tiny houses and stuff like that. Those are big trending things. And if you're a college student listening to this, or you're getting to college, I made episode 10, for post-college and life tips. I believe I did that with my friend Isaac Chain. Take a look at that one. And yeah, so yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. My name is Kweku Asafu-Adjaye. You can find all the podcasts that I've done so far on the Art of Thought on Stitcher. You can find it on YouTube as well. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play podcasts. Not really SoundCloud anymore. There's like 3 on SoundCloud. And yeah, so also you can also find it on just anywhere. You can contact me, HeluxTV@outlook.com, if you have any suggestions. If you want to be on the show, let me know. My name is Kweku, and I'll talk to you guys later.